who's got real estate. You guys have real estate? Do you want real estate? What do you guys think? Love to hear what you guys think about real estate. I could tell you, for me, real estate is a goal of mine, but it's a means to an end. It's a way to have guaranteed long-term passive income that my kids will take over. Generational wealth. You know, generational wealth is my number one goal. It's my number one goal. And I don't know about you guys, but I'm not leaving this world with my kids high and dry. It's hard for me to even have this, throw this video out there when I really think about what I want, what I'm trying to accomplish for my kids. It's a lot of pressure. And you know, you guys are gonna need help with that. Everybody needs help with that. What I do is I look for people that can help me, that care about me. You know, for me, it's been my dad, my brother, my wife Lynn. It's my friends. I got friends in Chicago, I got friends in Pittsburgh, I got friends all over the world. And it's the people that care about me that I go to. But with that being said, you gotta know who you're talking to, and even if they're people that care about you, what advice are they giving you? So in my case, the reason I bring up the advice and the people that I know is that my brother's a successful real estate investor. He's done a ton of projects out in Chicago. We own a couple commercial buildings here in Pittsburgh, and we've made some pretty sound real estate investments. And our whole goal behind it is for long-term generational wealth, passive income. But it's not passive in the beginning. Unless you're just solely investing with somebody like Grant Cardone, you better be a accredited investor first of all, which, you know, not everybody is. But if you're not, you know, who are you going to invest with? How are you going to know what kind of real estate to invest in? And so that's one of the things that we're going to discuss a little bit on this channel. What I think is a good first investment, between 4 to 10 units. Grant Cardone says 16 units or more. But the problem in my city, or at least for me and a lot of my friends, the people that are maybe, you know, bringing in between 100 to 300,000, is that's still a lot of change. It's still a lot of change to pay if you want a 16-unit property, unless it's just a complete piece of shit, in which case you need to do a lot of work to it. So I think between 4 to 10 units is a lot more reasonable for most people, especially, you know, most younger business guys that are, you know, in their 20s, maybe 30s, maybe early 40s. And, you know, they have the income, but they don't quite have, you know, as much cash as Grant Cardone to buy, you know, a $2 million building or a $3 million building. They just don't, you know, maybe you have 100 or 200,000 you want to invest, maybe 50,000 you want to invest. You're going to want to find somebody like my brother. And what my brother does is he invests in multi-unit properties. If you can't do the work yourself, a lot of his friends that are high income guys, they don't have the time, or if they do have the time, it's not their area of expertise, so they don't want to screw around with it. And what they do is they'll just invest 50 or 100 or 200 into some of these deals. And you know, they're very, very profitable deals. So it might be a 6 to 10 unit property that the units are, you know, maybe 60, 70,000. And once they're renovated up, maybe 80,000 per unit he'd have into it. And then he'd be renting them out for about $1,200-1,400 a month, depending on the area and how many bedrooms the units are. So I want you guys to think about real estate and be honest with yourself. Do you understand it? Before you make the judgment that real estate's good or bad, or, you know, people told me, real estate's hard to get into. Well, that's coming from people that don't know what they're talking about. Yeah, anything is going to be difficult when you get into it. Anything that you do that's worth a damn in life is going to be difficult. So don't expect it to be easy. If you think it's going to be easy, then just don't do it. Or make the money elsewhere and invest with somebody like my brother, who, you know, pulls together groups of cash and does the work, you know, gets these places leased up, and in some cases they'll resell them, but in most cases they're they're buying to hold. So, you know, you're going to need to go out and meet some people probably first, but if you're watching this channel, you're either in sales or you're just looking to make more money in your life, you know, you're going to look at a couple things. You're going to look at how do you minimize your taxes? And the only real way that I know to minimize taxes in a big way would be through real estate, either commercial or residential investment real estate, not your home. Your home, you get some deductions, but it's basically a liability if you're living there. You know, and that's one of the confusions that a lot of people have, and Rich Dad Poor Dad talks about that. Robert Kiyosaki talks about, you know, if you're confusing the difference between an asset and a liability, you're in big trouble. And the people that I know, they don't understand what the difference, some of them don't understand the difference between an asset and a liability. Now, my friends and business people, they all have plenty of assets, and they know what liabilities are, and they may have some of those too, but they're buying them sparingly, and they're not going out when they're my age and buying, you know, boats and Ferraris and Lamborghinis. They're buying multi-unit properties, and then those multi-unit properties will spit off enough income that they can buy Lambos and Ferraris and boats with that cash. So that's what they do. The smart guys, they invest the money first when they're my age or younger, and then they let it ride out, and they keep reinvesting that cash until it's spitting off so much cash that they don't know what to do with it, and then they can buy whatever toys they want. Buy, you know, the Rolexes, the boats, the houses, you know, the properties in different states just to go stay at, not even for investment. Then what happens, they end up Airbnb-ing them. Anytime that a rich person looks at a property, they look at it from a standpoint of how much cash can I get out of this thing? How can I shelter my income? How can I pay less taxes? And so you know, the point of this video, I know I got a little bit off on a tangent there, but the point of the video is you need to have multiple flows of income. You need ways to produce extra revenue, and you know, you need to do it while you're sleeping. You need to do it with somebody else. You need another way to earn income, and you know, you need to put your money to work for you. My dad always told me this story as a kid about these little Indians or little soldiers, you know, however you want to look at it. And you send out a little soldier out, you know, you have one little soldier, and each soldier represents $1. And you have, you know, you make that soldier, and you got to protect those soldiers, protect them with your life. And then you put those soldiers out, you send them out to war, and they go out and battle, and they come back and they bring more soldiers back. And then, you know, you feed them, you take care of them, you get them retrained, and you send your soldiers back out. And that training is while you're reading, you're learning, you're understanding about investing, and you send those puppies back out. They go back out and they bring back more soldiers, and you just rinse and repeat that over and over. And the soldiers are dollars. So the other thing that I learned at a young age, and I would teach this to you guys and your kids if you have kids, is that the game of Monopoly can be used in real life. It's a real, you know, success way to do it. It's a way to have success with real estate. You can get into real estate just by understanding Monopoly. You know, you don't buy properties that are so cheap and shitty that nobody wants them. You don't buy the most expensive park place right out of the gate. You maybe start out with something in the middle, something that you can afford but you know is going to produce cash flow. So, you know, I'm making my money in sales, but I'm putting it into real estate. That's my goal. Make it in sales, put it into real estate, and just keep doing that over and over. And eventually the real estate is going to take over and be the big part of my income. I'm up on top of the roof of my building right now, as you guys can see. I'm just walking around up here. One of the places that I can get some privacy. So I'd love for you guys to like and subscribe, and share this if you have some friends that are looking to get into real estate and need to just hear some truth about it, because the truth is there's a lot of bad misinformation about real estate. I love real estate, and you know, I want to learn more about it. My brother's kind of took me under his wing and taught me a lot of things. My dad's taken me under his wing and taught me a lot of things. I got some mentors. You know, you guys can find mentors. You can listen to my channel, you can watch some of the other channels, and you can really learn a lot just by opening your ears and asking questions to people and really trying to learn. All right, so like and subscribe, and I'll talk to you guys soon.